Welcome, my magical friends. Welcome back to the Magic with Soul Bride channel. Merry meet to you all. I'm so glad you're here. I have another video for you today. I have a video to help tell you why 3 is a magical number, what 3's significance is in witchcraft, and how this number came to be so important in our lives and culture, world, and universe. So let's go ahead and talk about the main superstition with 3. All good things come in 3s, and that's pretty true, but also all bad things can come in 3s, but good things mostly come in 3s, and that kind of goes with the rule of 3, or the power of 3, which just means that anything that comes in 3s is funnier, smarter, better, and just worth taking notice. Oh, you guys, you're gonna see me peeking at my notes. I have lots of notes, not just on this subject, of course. There's lots of subjects, but I've got notes for you about this because I do have a lot of information about it. And you guys are gonna see me peek at my notes a little bit. Nobody's perfect. Okay, so the repetition of the number 3 in our culture. Let me go ahead and rant a little bit here for a second. I know the basics of American Sign Language. I used to be fluent when I was young, but I haven't used it, so, you know, you don't use it, you lose it. But I just want to say, since I'm talking about the number 3, that this is not the number 3. This is how you do 3. This is actually a W. So, W, 3. W, 3. W, 3. Okay? Did you catch what I did there? Okay, so in our culture, 3 is a big number. Even with like children's tales and fairy tales, like there'll be the heroine will have 3 obstacles, or they have to solve 3 riddles, or they have to make 3 choices or 3 wishes, and they overcome a difficulty on the 3rd try. This is a commonplace where you hear 3rd time's a charm. In ritual, it's not just in witchcraft rituals, but in lots of rituals around the world, 3 is a repetitive number within it. But I'll explain more about witchcraft rituals to you in a second. I just want to tell you guys first about how the number 3 ties into the world and our everyday lives. So also I'm going to tell you that in math, 3 is a big number. It is the first number that forms a geometrical shape, which is the triangle, and it's the first true number. Alright, so in science, with the repetition of the number 3, this one's really big, because then this may be a little witchcraft. Science is nature. This is how we, that's the language of nature. So what trinities are there in science that we should keep our eyes on? Well, we live in a 3-dimensional world: height, width, and length. We are made up of, well, the universe is made up of space, time, and matter. Matter can come in different forms: solid, liquid, or gas. And these are the building blocks of our world. Also, the building blocks of atoms contain a neutron, proton, and electron. And then you also have the 3 charges: negative, positive, and neutral. And those are some trinities in basic science and math and stuff that we understand and we use in our everyday lives. But let's get into some more spiritual sides of it, huh? Okay, so what all, apart from actual trinities, do they embrace the number 3? So, 3 is the number of good fortune. All good things come in 3s. Bad things do too, but all good things come in 3s. You have the divine is very into the number 3. Time actually we have like beginning, middle, and end, and past, present, and future. So there's another building block of our universe and nature. 3 is a powerful number in manifestation and in the spiritual realm. In the Torah, it is recognized with truth, and again, it is the first true number. Some other known trinities, like the actual trinities in a spiritual world, you would have the triad, which is big in witchcraft and all spirituality. It's just mind, body, and soul. That's a big one. Another is harmony, wisdom, and understanding. Another is the threefold creative process known as thought, word, and deed. And then you have birth, life, and death. And then in our small-scape world, we have the earth, sun, and moon. Then there's the 3-thumb rule to escape criticism. Say nothing, do nothing, be nothing. And that's just a few. There are so many trinities out there. Go online and look them up, and you'll just see one after another, after another, after another, because 3 is such a repetitive number in our lives, in our culture, and the makeup of who we are, down to our very atoms. The number 3 is huge. The human body with the number 3. When we die, it takes 3 days for our spiritual body, our emotional body, whatever you would like to call it, our spiritual self. We stay with the body for 3 days, and then, well, no one can tell us what happens after that, and we all have different answers. So the emotional body stays with the physical body up to 3 days before, or to 3 days after death. Science shows us that it takes 3 days for the human brain to completely shut down. Even if the rest of the body is failing, it still will always take the brain 3 days to fully shut down. Alright, some popular superstitions. All good things come in 3. 3rd time's the charm, all that jazz. Whenever a thing is mentioned to us 3 times, we should take notice and remember that. There is the superstition of the third light, and this comes from the soldiers in World War I in the trenches and lighting their cigarettes. It was always unlucky to be the third soldier in a group to light his cigarette, because a sniper from far away can see the end of the cigarette, can see on the first shot, aim at the second shot, and shoot on the third view. 3 a.m. is the witching hour. From 3 a.m. to 4 a.m., natural forces, supernatural forces, I should say, are at their strongest. If a woman back in the day was caught outside between 3 and 4 a.m., she was automatically considered and suspected of being a witch. Alright, so what symbols recognize 3 that are also in witchcraft? Can you think of one big one that represents the number 3 and 6 trinities? That's right, the triquetra. This is my trinity of trinities, because I practice the threefold law very strictly within my craft. I'm very into the threefold law, and therefore I like triquetras. I've heard some people call them trifectas, which I don't know, but it's triquetra, and this is what it looks like. I know you've seen that symbol around, but do you know what all 6 trinities are associated with that one symbol, the triquetra? Alright, here we go. Mind, body, and soul. Life, death, and birth. Past, present, and future. Beginning, middle, and end. Sun, moon, and earth. And the threefold creative process of thought, word, and deed. The second symbol to represent the number 3 is the triskel, and it looks like this. That symbol is as old as the days are long. It actually predates Druid times, so being that it is so old, we do not know what its original meaning was. So we have just kind of placed upon it our own beliefs, and in the last century it's become very big with the triple goddess. That's the main thing that it represents, is the triple goddess and the trifold nature of divinity. Alright, so in witchcraft, 3 is a significant number because of the threefold law, the phases of the moon, the triad, the triple goddess, the power of 3, recitation, and our third eyes. So let's get into that. The threefold law. It's not an actual law, it's actually just a good general rule. And yes, you can be a witch without following the threefold law. There is no rules about, you know, can be a witch, can't be a witch, with this and that. Everybody can do it their own way. That's the beauty of witchcraft. It's all about individuality. You're blessed to be an individual, and your craft should flaunt that. The threefold law simply means that what we put out in the world will come back to us times 3. So if we put bad out in the world, we get bad times 3. If we put good out in the world, we get 3 times good. Sometimes I like to think of it as a pay it forward. Like, you know, go out of your way to help somebody, because that sharing and caring energy will find its way back to you. Alright, in the phases of the moon, technically we have the waxing, full, and waning moon. Because with the new moon, it's not the moon, you can't see the moon, so some people don't count that one. So it's kind of a trinity there, kind of depends on who you're talking to. The full moon is a huge thing in witchcraft. We love the full moon. We do our spells and rituals on the full moon when appropriate. We make full moon water. We curtsy to the full moon to show her the respect she deserves. We are big into the moon. It's how much you choose to embrace it. Again, the triad, the mind, body, and soul, that's just very significant in any spiritual belief, any spiritual system or teaching. So very broad, kind of, but at the same time, think about it, mind, body, and soul, that's exactly what we are, and it just makes so much sense. The number 3 can, like, comfort you. It can bring meaning to the things that you do. It really can. And the triple goddess, if we use the triple goddess symbol or the triskel on our altars, then we get back enhanced power times 3. And then the power of 3. In symbolism, each number 1 through 9 has a specific meaning and origin. We study them and we put them into our everyday lives, and guess which number is most significant? You guessed it, 3. The number 3 is considered sacred because it represents the awesome power of the manifestation of life. Alright, recitation. When we recite things, when we do incantations, when we do chants, we do mantras, we say these things 3 times, you know, especially in ritual. Saying these incantations and chants can be a powerful process wherein which you have the number 3 again, because when you invoke something 3 times, you are, on the first recitation, putting your statement out into the universe. And then on our second recitation, we invoke the power of the universe. And then on the third recitation, we complete that process and bring our spells to life. So when they say by the power of 3, by the power of 3 times 3, that's because it is so interconnected that there's just so much benefit from it in actual spell work too. And I think that's got a lot to do with it, is because it's not just that this stands for something in our craft, like the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. It just kind of stands for something. And witchcraft is something that we more than embrace. We use it every single time. When we recite, when we write spells, when we decide what to use in our spells. It's just, it's crazy how much we use number 3 in witchcraft. And I have one last thing for you, which is the third eye. When we cast, when we conjure, when we write, when we do our magical rites, when we do visualization, when we meditate, when we work with the law of attraction, all this we do with our third eye. So the number 3 is so important in our world, in our practice, and in our everyday lives. So I would like you to take this information and sit with it for a while. Think, what could I use the number 3 to bring something forth in my life? Maybe take the challenge of the very next spell you do, that you're going to take advantage of the number 3 in that spell 3 times. Let's see who all does it. So that's what I have for you today. As always, I want you to take this information, make it yours, and go do beautiful magical things. Alright guys, if you liked my video, please like, share, and subscribe, and always come back to the Soul Bride channel. Also, when you subscribe, ring that little gray bell and it will tell you when I post a new video. I don't post videos every day, so you won't get spammed with a bunch of things. I usually do one video every couple weeks or so, depending on the demand sometimes. So yeah, like, share, and subscribe. Help me get out there, guys. I'm big on Facebook. You can go find me at Facebook. You can go to @MagickWithSoulBride, and that will take you to my video creator page. But then I also have another page called Magick with Soulbride Kits and Tools, where I sell my witchcraft kits for beginners online on Facebook. And I also help people to get more personalized kits, like and then on top of that, like, they could say, okay, well, I need more of this and I need of this. And also I'm in the need of a cauldron and just haven't gotten around to getting one. Well, I can speed that process up for you and get you that cauldron very quickly. I have lots of good hookups. So find me on Facebook. You don't have to buy anything from me though. Just go to my video creator page and leave some love for me and check it out. And as always, thank you so much for coming. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. And now take this, make it yours, and blessed be.